Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Wrong About Sports Playoff Edition podcast. I am playoff participant fan Brian McDaniel. I said that wrong. Brian, I start over.
Eh,
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Wrong About Sports podcast. I am Chicago Bear fan and playoff participant Brian McDaniel.
And I am, because my Vikings are not in the playoffs, Chicago Bear fan, uh, Carla Bigham, and we are
Wrong About
wrong about
Sports.
sports. Well, Brian, the time has come. We have playoff football,
Hmm.
and there is going to be a lot of celebrating this weekend. And what we do want to say is, if you are going to celebrate, one, be safe, but two, make sure you are purchasing your adult beverages from who, Brian?
From the Minnesota Licensed Beverage Association. Since 1952, this organization has been providing many resources to their members, including government affairs and technical support. And one thing that the MLBA wants their members to know, that with the MLBA, they are not alone.
They are not. And you know who's not alone? Well, actually, they are kind of alone. A lot of head coaches,
Yeah,
Brian. A
no
lot of
kidding.
head
Wow.
coaches. So they usually the Monday after the season, there's just a plethora of changes coaches announce because you have to get prepared for the draft and you have to just move on to next season, pretty much. And so, real quickly, before we get into the game of the week um, and the other playoff wildcard games, we had talked about this early on, and we were both kind of surprised, but they did have a rally towards the end of the year. Mike McDaniel, no relation.
No relation.
Um, he's out of a job now. So I kind of thought, they would have let him go during the season, but they did not, unlike the Tennessee Titans and Giants, both let go of their guys. But McDaniel made it through the season. Apparently, allegedly, according to the Twitter, didn't have a very good meeting with the management, the owners of because they don't have a general manager, the owners of the Dolphins. So he is out. I'm hopeful that Mr. McDaniel is our new offensive coordinator, but I
Yeah.
think he is going to be, because he's really good. I mean, he's a funny guy. But my point is, we need some help offensively. I think with some play calling and some schemes that help develop, this offense a little better to match our defense. I'm talking about the Vikings, and McDaniel would do that, but he's going to be all over the place. And then I think you have Ravens head coach after 18 years, John
Yeah,
Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. And I think that the Harbaugh decision very much impacted what the Dolphins did, because the Dolphins didn't fire McDaniel right away. And in fact, McDaniel said he was going to be involved in the GM search. And I think I just saw it come across my phone that the Dolphins have plucked somebody from the Packers to be their new general manager. But I suspect that once a couple of teams saw that a coach of John Harbaugh's caliber was going to be available, that said, we can do better. There's even some people saying that there are some playoff teams that, if they get a first round exit, will be trying to reach out to John Harbaugh to coach them. So right now, Harbaugh is going to, in fact, I bet you there's going to be a lot of coaching vacancies that stay vacant until Harbaugh makes a decision on where he wants to go.
Yeah, and look, did this surprise me? And you and I texted about this. It actually didn't, because like he didn't use Derrick Henry the way Derrick Henry is typically used, and it was very clear that when Derrick Henry was the running back for the Ravens was on the field, he dominated like very hard. And the dude isn't, for a running back, not young, and so maybe it was that he was trying to preserve that, but kind of questionable when you're not doing well with your other running backs. you have a Hall of Famer, hands down, with Derrick Henry. I mean, and then his calls started to get a little questionable that were not explained, in my opinion. Um, and Lamar Jackson is clutch. I mean, everybody blames him for I can't win the big one. No, like the guy can. It's just he doesn't have the tools, in my opinion, that are working for him. He has them. They just need some fine tuning. So it doesn't, in my opinion, surprised me a whole lot that he is gone and moving on. I don't think it's smart because he is just, again, Hall of Fame coach, one of the best. I mean, you just arguably cannot say he isn't a good coach. So I would have thought maybe they would have made some internal adjustments for him versus just shit canning him, after, and we'll talk about this, his kicker misses a field goal and all of a sudden it's, Lamar Jackson's fault. That
The
he can't
the
win
the
the big
meme
one anyway.
the meme that I liked showed the uprights, and then it had to the left, John Harbaugh gets fired. I'm sorry, to the left, Mike Tomlin gets fired. To the right, Mike Tomlin gets fired. No, no, sorry. Sorry, I'm getting this wrong. To the left, John Harbaugh gets fired. To the right, John Harbaugh gets fired. Down the middle, um, anyway, Mike Tomlin gets fired. But yeah, it surprised me. I mean, he had been there a long time. Sometimes jobs just have a shelf life.
Yeah,
And for a long time they were an elite team. The
yeah,
defense got old. The defense got banged up. This year,
yeah.
Lamar Jackson was not around for a lot of
Correct.
the season, and there were times that the offense was a little bit of a puzzle. That they were going to beat. I thought for sure that they were going to beat the Steelers, who were kind of limping into that last game.
Yeah,
Old man Rogers found a way to, put some voodoo on their poor rookie kicker, and this is what happened. This is the fallout.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I think, Raheem Morris out of the Falcons, they got rid of both the coach and GM there. And then, Cardinals getting rid of Coach Gannon. That's not very surprising at all.
No,
Stefanski, weird because um I just think their acquisitions had been like, how many quarterbacks did you need? And that impacts your roster size and your other play. And they kind of blame him for it. Weird. But he'll land another head coach job. He's
yeah,
also another one that I wouldn't mind having to be a coordinator here in Minnesota, where he once was.
yeah,
And so he's just I think a good coach. He just didn't have the management behind him to get him the players. I mean, defense, they actually were really good. I mean, and Miles Garrett, hell not,
yeah,
But anyway, and then of course, old man Pete Carroll, legit.
yeah.
Man, those Raiders. I mean, one and done. Like, is there a team that I don't know? They
Well,
just give
sometimes
them one season and get them out.
like the Cowboys and a couple other teams, there are these family owned teams that
Yeah,
have these old tyrannical owners who think that they know football, and they make bad decision after bad decision. The Raiders are definitely that. The Raiders are somebody I could see throwing a lot of money at John Harbaugh. I don't know that he's going to want to play his brother twice a year, but maybe he does. Maybe that's part of their dynamic. I don't know. The
with
Giants,
a
the Gi-
roster like that, though, I don't. I
yeah.
mean, you don't get to develop players when you have a revolving door like the Raiders have, and that's going to take years to dig out of. I mean,
Well, they need a
Max
good receiver.
Crosby's going to go. I mean,
Yeah,
he's just like, I'm done.
they need a good receiver. So I think that they
Yep.
need to trade Max Crosby to the Bears, and DJ Moore, who I
Stop.
love,
Stop.
probably needs a change of scenery, and I think he'd do very well in Vegas.
No, no, we do not want that. And we already have to deal with Micah Parsons, who we'll talk about in a second. But anyway,
Yeah.
since you mentioned the Bears and Packers already, do we want to start with them and then just kind of
Yes.
go over the rest? So
Yeah.
Packers are favored by 1.5, but let's talk about
Yeah,
why that ain't going to happen. No pack, no.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a Bears fan, they definitely exceeded. Excuse me, my expectations this year. They won the North, which is pretty great. They got a home playoff game. They're playing the Packers Saturday night. Supposedly there's supposed to be snow,
Yeah.
that's Bears Packers football right there. Jordan Love should be back.
Mm-hmm.
Roma Dunze will be back for the
Mm-hmm.
Bears. I was pretty pessimistic for most of the week. I'm feeling a little better today. I'm probably not going to be, absent, some sort of, comic book ending that I don't like. I don't think I'm going to be terribly crushed if the Bears lose just because I see them go on such a good trajectory right now. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fantastic game, no doubt.
So here's where I'm at. I think you got Caleb Williams playing really well. What are we in his third year, right?
Third year.
Third year. And as you said, they're getting some of their big playmakers back, but it's the grit that they played with. And the idea that this is a whole team approach because of all the injuries, they persevered and they just it's a well coached team in Ben Johnson, the
Yeah.
best, better. I'll let you do your cheer, but I do think that they've been playing through injury. They have a whole team approach, which I just think that mentality is winning through adversity is something that doesn't just go away. And their defense has been on fire. And I think that is, they always say defenses win championships. Well, this defense, Bears defense, no joke. And so I really do feel like it isn't my bias against the Packers. It is just the fact that it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And I
Yeah.
don't think the Packers want to play Saturday night in Chicago. I will say this, I think Swift is going to be busy, the running back for the Bears. We do have our prop plays, but that is somebody that I would focus on because that defense, for some reason, has not been Packers defense has not been very good against the run lately. And I think that when you have somebody the caliber of Swift, watch it. And so the other thing I will say, and I know it was they were resting people, blah 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 blah, but it goes down to coaching. And I think the Packers looked horrible against the Vikings. And when you're not playing your starters, I get it. But when the Bears have had that whole team approach, I think it just shows the difference in coaching and preparedness for a big game like this. And so this is why, they don't have Micah Parsons either on the Packers side. Josh Jacobs, has a foot injury, I think, and
Yeah.
and so he's been kind of, you know, and then you have Jordan Love who had a concussion, and so he's going to be back. I mean, he was ready to play last week. They just rested him, and their O line has been banged up as well. So with all of this in mind, I'm going to say the Bears win by 3, and it's going to be the best game of the weekend, and they win by
Well,
3.
what is surprising is, so last week the Bears played a Bears game against the Lions where they were down, 16-0, and then got it back to 16-16, and they ultimately lost 19-16. But it was an encouraging loss, which the Bears are getting really good at having
Mm-hmm.
encouraging losses. But because of that, they didn't control their destiny to get the number 2 seed and play the Packers. The Eagles, who were playing the Commanders, decided to rest their starters. They
Yeah.
lost to the Commanders, so the Eagles get the Niners at home, which is a much more difficult game
Mm-hmm.
than I think playing the Packers. So I'm a little surprised about that, but I think the Bears do want to play the Packers. They played each other twice. Both were good games,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that this will be the rubber match, as they say it. I guess I don't know that I'm predicting a Bears win, but I think it's going to be 28-27, one way or the other.
Nice, nice. Well, a game that is not going to be very exciting. Rams at Carolina.
No.
Rams are slated to win by 10 and a half. You have Matthew Stafford, who's having legit MVP season, over 4,000, nearly 5,000 yards, passing yards. He's the leader in the NFL for that. He's also the leader for touchdowns, 46 touchdowns this year. You have Puka Nakua and Devonta Adams and Kieran Williams, who add in, a rotation of tight ends that Matthew loves. This, I just think this is going to be, if there's a game that you may want to, go take a walk, go run to get some deep dish pizza, whatever. Go ahead and do it during this game. Carolina was 8-9, and that division is just. Anywho, I just think this is gonna be a run the score up. Get your starters out in the fourth quarter if you're the Rams, a type of game. Carolina maybe in a couple of years will be decent. So anyway,
Yeah, I
um,
don't have a lot to add to that because I don't think this game warrants
yeah.
much more than that. But I think this is going to be one where the Rams, who have as good a shot as anybody to come out of the NFC, will be able to roll over Carolina pretty easily.
And I do think that a game that is going to be not as good as the Packers Bears, but Bills Jaguars. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to it. You have Josh Allen, James Cook. The Bills are slated to win by one. It's going to be I think, a shootout, and I do think that the Bills will come out ahead on this because I just think Josh Allen knows it's now or might be never. And so the defense for the Bills is bad against the run, um, decent against the pass. And so, look at Etienne, Travis Etienne, and Trevor Lawrence, I think, to probably do some rushing attempts on the Bills defense. But I I'm sorry, the Jacksonville defense. No, I was right. Sorry, Bills defense. Jacksonville defense is really solid. And Trevor Lawrence has just been on fire. Um, and I just think it's going to come down to who wants it worse. I don't know if there is anybody that wants that Super Bowl worse this year than Josh Allen. And he doesn't have Mahomes, he doesn't have Lamar Jackson. And who else doesn't he have? There's another prominent known AFC quarterback that's always in the
Brady,
no.
but
But you do have Aaron Rodgers, who we'll talk about in a
yeah.
second. But anyway, so that's my take on it. I think this could be a very close game, very good game. It's going to be a battle of probably, you know, the the game plan against a very strong Jacksonville defense. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
going to be you can execute.
I'm going to take Jacksonville in this one. I'm a big Josh Allen guy, but the Bills' trajectory has been downward, and the Jags have been upward. And I think that with the path cleared for Josh Allen, I think that a lot of us have assumed that he'll be able to just plow through that. But the Bills' defense is not great, and
No.
the Jags are just playing well, and sometimes there's something to be said for that. So,
Mhm.
certainly I think it'll be a close game. I think this is going to be one of the ones that could be, 41-40. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game.
Yes, for sure. And then there's another, as you already mentioned, 49ers, Eagles. This one is interesting as well, and I do mean in Minnesota interesting. So Eagles by 5.5, they're favored. Oof. Christian McCaffrey, arguably also MVP type year.
Yeah.
You have he played all 17 games, which is rare for him.
Hmm.
Hope I didn't just jinx him. But 1,200 rushing yards, 924 receiving yards. Something tells me if you're looking at a prop play, you want to go on the over on the receiving yards for Christian McCaffrey or passing or receiving attempts. So, anyway, much like the Bears, the 49ers have been beat up. They're going to be playing without Fred Warner. They're going to be playing without Mikael Williams and Bosa on that defense against, oh, crud. Look at that offense on the Eagles. You have, Barkley, you have A.J. Brown, and you just have it's Smith, Devonta Smith, and let's not forget Jalen Hurts.
Hmm.
So just the man, the weapons that they have on the Eagles, I really wonder if a beat up defense for the 49ers can handle it. Now they did play decent through the stretch. The defense did. They were putting up, they were allowing a lot of, yeah. So let me rephrase that. So they were allowing a lot of yards, but I think they were playing aggressive. They were playing like 49er defense, right? The mentality. The offense of the 49ers also has a lot of tools, but I don't know. So I think the Eagles win this one because it's a home game, going to be cold, and for all the reasons I just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, like the Bears, the 49ers controlled their own destiny
Yep.
in week 18, where they could have beaten Seattle and then had home field advantage up through the Super Bowl because they're playing the Super Bowl is in their home stadium. They kind of laid an egg. They only scored 3 points
Mhm.
after scoring, a bucket load 38, I think, against the Bears the week before. But the Eagles are just a mess. I mean,
Yep.
I think they suffer from a little bit of a coaching problem where I think that they had
Mhm.
a hot guy for a while, and now I think the shine is definitely off that apple.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna pick the Niners in this one.
Why are we
Just
opposite today?
well,
This
it
is an
makes for
almanac panel. Come
yeah, it makes
on.
for makes for a better podcast. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick the Niners led by Iowa State, his own Brock Purdy,
Brock
just,
Purdy.
just because I don't understand what's going on with that. The Eagles should have a great offense, they don't. But so I'll pick the Niners in this one.
Yeah, I that's gonna be it's gonna be probably the third best game. And here's another one. The only reason why, I'm a little excited about this final game on Monday night against the Texans and Steelers is because I believe the Texans, who are favored by 3, are going to beat Aaron Rodgers. And,
That would be
I've
awesome.
said this before, but I can't really think of, maybe other than Brett Favre, a man that's broken my heart more than Aaron Rodgers. So it's personal. Anywho, when your team gets in because of a missed field goal, you have a like DK Metcalf, yeah, guy can ball, of course, just so immature and obnoxious,
Yeah.
and that's going to have an impact on your team. And so, anywho, I think that the Texans defense is amazing. Their kicker on fire. And so, the weather climate thing in these games, this one, because I think Texans playing in a stadium. I believe I'm correct about in a dome, not
Dome.
not a dome, but it has a roof,
Yeah.
a dome, yeah. And sometimes that can impact, a team that's used to playing in that when you have to go outside in Pittsburgh in the winter. And so that's the only thing I kind of worry about with CJ Stroud and the weapons that they have. And so, we'll see how that goes. But I do think never underestimate Aaron Rodgers. You just got to say it.
Well, and I'll take Houston in this one. I know that Aaron Rodgers has devil magic, and because he's a garbage person, but yeah, I also I think that Houston is starting to play well. I think that they are going to be they're just a better team than Pittsburgh at this point. It is advantageous to Pittsburgh to be able to play in Pittsburgh, but I'm gonna go with Houston. I think that they're just on more of an upward trajectory.
Yeah, and I think the final game, the Chargers at the Patriots. Oh, Drake May, beast.
Beast.
Um, and so I like him. I think Patriots are kind of my sleeper team. I want the Bills to be the AFC team because I like Josh Allen. But Patriots might be the team. We have two teams on bye, which are the Seahawks and the Broncos. Seahawks are the team to watch, obviously, but Sam Darnold chokes. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put a. I mean, he'll get probably through the next season, next game, but and he may be in the championship game against the Rams, in my opinion. But I think that's about as far as he gets. But Drake May, Henderson, um, Diggs, if he's around, all our just they're playing so well, and Drake Bay just has a cannon of an arm. He can run, he can do it all. And Vrabel is like Dan Campbell to me. I like both of them. And so anyway, I just think the Patriots are gonna just dominate on this one against the Chargers, who are beat up, but they have the players to make it a fight. So, but I do think the Patriots are going to win this one.
I think I agree with you. I think the Patriots have I think if the Bears weren't the Bears, that the Patriots would be the Bears as far as like getting the kind of the national
Yeah.
a little bit of a little bit of a national following here. The Patriots are a team that we learned to hate
Hmm.
because of Tom Brady, but Tom
Hmm.
Brady's not there. Belichick's not there. They're kind of
Hmm.
not the evil empire that they once were. They're kind of the young, plucky upstarts. You got to like May. You got to like Trevion Henderson. You have to hate Stefan Diggs.
Hmm.
But I think that when you look at the Chargers, other than having the best uniforms in the history of the NFL, they just seem to always be lacking something.
Yeah.
And I like Justin Herbert. I like Keenan Allen. The Omari and
Hmm.
Hampton. Their running back is going to be good one day, but I still think they're just missing something, and I think that they're not going to be able to overcome the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah, especially that. I mean, again, the defense is it's good with the Chargers, but I just think the game plans that the Patriots have put up just very difficult to get over. So,
Yeah,
well, that's all the games. So let's talk about some prop plays.
go props.
So I'm going to go with the running back for the Rams, Kieran Williams, to have over 1.5 receptions because I just think the diversity and variety that offense is going to just fluster um, the Panthers. I think this is weird. I know that, but I think it's going to be kind of let's try this out for down the road offensive scheme day. Uh, during this game. Like, let's try it out. Let's see these players in these roles, because I just believe the Rams are going to run up the score and they're going to try some different offensive schemes. So I believe Williams is going to be used as a receiver a little bit just to try. I mean, he is anyway, but I believe that they're going to lean on him even more. And then my other one is quarterback for the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, for over 4.5 attempts. Again, the Bills not so hot on the rush, and I think just to keep them guessing, they're going to kick it up a notch. With Trevor Lawrence, who is does have some legs to run, but like I feel that they're going to try to wear down a weak defensive line for the Bills right away to try to not let the score get away from them in any sort of way. And so I think that's how Trevor Lawrence will be used this weekend.
All right. Well, I'm gonna for my first prop, I'm gonna talk about Old Man Rogers with his garbage person devil magic. The rushing prop on him is over under point 0.5 yards. So I think I think that Old Man Devil Magic is going to be able to fall forward for a full yard, but he will get concussed while that happens. So this is a little bonus. This isn't part of the prop, but it's a little bit of a bonus where I think that he will satisfy the prop. He will. if you remember, there's the picture of him on the ground with his helmet all askew. It's gonna happen again. This will be the last play that he ever has in the NFL. Will be him getting his shell cracked. Let's say by EJ Speed
Okay, now
from
you're
the
getting way too specific.
yeah, from the Houston Texans, because that's the first person whose name pops into my head. Maybe JJ Watt comes out of retirement for one game just to decapitate Rodgers, but I think he's going to satisfy the 1 yard that he'll need to satisfy that prop, and I think that's a pretty excuse me, pretty chalk. And then for my second one, I'm going to go to the Bears game. As I said earlier, Rome Odunze, their number one receiver, is back into the fold. The prop is 33 and a half receiving yards. That ain't that much. Definitely Caleb Williams is playing well. He's been playing well without Adunze, and his receivers have been dropping balls left and right. I think that he'll be able to get three, four, five to Roma Dunze, and he will satisfy getting 34 yards receiving. I think he's also going to get a touchdown. But I think the guy to keep watching on the Bears, not that this is part of the prop, but man, Colston Loveland is
Yep.
starting to look like, as Travis Kelce maybe starts shifting out of the tight end limelight, we're going to start seeing Colston Loveland and Ty Warren really shift in there. And Ty Warren had a better beginning of the year, had a better quarterback than he did at the end of the year. But anyway, neither here nor there. Roma Dunze and his very impressive throw will get 34 yards and satisfy that prop. And that's world according to Brian right there.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it'll be a great weekend of wild card football. And
Yeah.
so hope people check out this podcast before they sit down to watch it for the weekend, and make sure to give us a like on the old social media there.
Yep.
So
All right.
hey,
So
hey, go Bears. Go Bears.
with that, good, better, best, Bears fan Brian McDaniel.
And converted Bears fan for the playoffs, Carla Bigham.
And we
And we
are
are wrong about
wrong
sports.
about sports.